Testing, testing, one, two, three. Can y'all hear me? How about now? Can y'all hear me? Oh, good. Good morning, Upward and Onward One. Good morning, Miss Lady Light. Good morning, Charlene. Awesome. I'm glad y'all can hear me. I'm a little early, but I just wanted to do a little comms check to make sure that, we can have this discussion because boy, do we have a lot to talk about. I mean, wasn't that a wild experience? Oh my God. I mean, I just can't believe what we witnessed for these last two nights. And it's quite sad. But I took some notes so we can talk about it because this must be discussed. And the thing is, where do we go from here? You know what I mean? I mean, we are all, most of us are fans of Wendy. And to witness what we saw last night was something um, quite unbelievable, you know? So I'm gonna go over some of the things that I saw and we saw, I should say, and then we'll talk about it and I don't know, send thoughts and prayers or we just sit back. Well, we don't really have a choice now, do we? We have to just morning, Wanda. Thanks for stopping by. All we have to do is just sit back and watch, you know? Yeah, if you I have a hack for you all. If I'm sure some of y'all know, go to the on YouTube when you get off of this. If you haven't seen the documentary or whatever, you can go to the Lifetime channel that's on YouTube, and they have like a subscription page or whatever. I think it's like $7, but you can do it for like 7 days, and then you can cancel it before the 7 days is complete, before they charge your credit card. But you get to watch it because it's currently on there for you to just watch at your leisure. But I had to catch it when it came out because I just couldn't believe that this was what was on TV. Yeah, me too. Miss Ladylike, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Come on in. Come on in. I'm a little early. But yeah, just go on to go to the Lifetime channel here on YouTube, and I think on the top of the Lifetime channel they have a link that takes you straight to the subscription, so you can go on and get you a little 7-day trial run and watch it. And then of course this is going to be posted, so you can make your comments once you've seen it in see the whole entire thing if you want to. I mean, if you want to watch it. I mean, it was literally um literally something to watch. Oh my goodness. I was like, yo, Wendy baby. But the stark difference from part 1 to part 2 is what made me realize one thing. And I'm going to point this out to y'all, ask y'all a question, and see if you saw what I saw, right? The Bible talks about vices, like things that people really can't quit unless there is involvement from God. And last night's documentary in Saturdays was an example of what it looks like for you to live a life devoid of God, right? I mean, for those who believe, that's what I took from this. I was like, yo, you have got to have some higher power that you lean on other than humans. And it seems as if, she doesn't have that. which was sad. All right, so I'm just going to get started. So it was a long and arduous watch, right? As I put in the description of this video, it was like literally watching a train wreck, right? And what I noticed about Wendy Williams is, based on what I've seen now, she's not a nice person. And I hate to say that because, as you all know, this channel has been Team Wendy, and I talk about, what I observe, and then I do my commentary on it. And the way she treated the people that were in service to her, like the nail tech, y'all remember that? The nail tech that came through to do her nails, the lady that styles her. I understand, dementia is the loss of, your memory and stuff like that. And I'm not a dementia specialist, but I think who you are at your core is who will materialize when you have, some kind of ailment, right? And unfortunately, what we saw on display for these last 2 nights was not a nice person. Right? Easy peasy. Let me know what you think. Because she was yelling at people. She was, it was something sad to see, quite honestly. And, the Bible mentions money and it being the root, right? The love of money, I should say. The love of money being the root of all evil, which is true. But you know what I saw with Wendy? I don't think it's the money for her. What I do think it's fame. And her addiction, yes, it comes in the form of alcohol. But when you watch this documentary in its entirety, you notice that Wendy's true addiction is that limelight, that spotlight, wanting to be seen, wanting to be on TV constantly. I mean, in last night's episode, I'm skipping forward, when her niece Alex came through, all she was talking about is, oh, I'm going on TV. I'm gonna, on this day, I'm gonna be on TV. I'm gonna be on TV. And it's like, girl, you are not well. And what I noticed was when they mentioned to her, like, we got to get you healthy or whatever, she was just anti that. And another thing that just was jarring to me, that was when she was shooting the show. I don't know if y'all saw the little write-up, like, when they cut screens and they would put like writings on the screen. They said that Wendy would have alcohol stashed in the ceiling tiles. Did y'all see that? And the people around the studio would be finding alcohol like hidden in like different places within the studio set. And it's like, we didn't know that she had that alcoholism, alcohol addiction, to the point where it basically cost her whole entire livelihood. Right? And yes, there were factors, that ridiculous ex-husband of hers, the affair, the baby that came from that, the death of her mother, and different family dynamics. But at the root of it, Wendy is just about Wendy Williams. And what I took away from this documentary also, let me add, is that, yeah, right, easy peasy. Did you see that? Did you see when because I read that. I was like, what? She had a liquor bottle in the ceiling tile? Now that's a bit much right there. But when you need your little pick me up, I guess that's what you got to do. But what I took away mostly also from this documentary was the fact that her family cares for her deeply. And unfortunately, the system that we have, which we need to do, I'm going to do a video on guardianship. Like we have to go into that system and see what's going on, because the fact that a stranger, right, is basically running this woman's life is beyond. And her family has no input, no authority of any kind. Of course, she had given the son power of attorney, but they took the power of attorney from the son because they were accusing the son of abusing his privilege to her funds. And he did explain that, he wasn't doing that, but if you watch the documentary closely, he did say he did take the money, but with her approval, right? But he knew that she wasn't well. You see what I'm saying? So him spending 100K on her, on himself or whatever, and he said that his mom wanted him to maintain a certain lifestyle or whatever. But, when you see that your mom isn't well, taking hundreds of thousands of dollars from her account was, a little insensitive in my opinion. But, that's, I mean, wonder, you ask who's watching him. Um, Nobody's watching him. He's a grown man, you know? He's a grown man, and he's what, like 24 or something like that? I don't know, 22, 20, 21, 22. He's a grown man. Now, I don't know what he does, other than go to school, but it doesn't seem like anyone really is employed over there at the Williams family, right? Because of course, Wendy's older sister, she's, retired, I'm sure, but everybody else, and I think the niece, she's a news presenter, but everybody else seems to be, what do you call it? Just at home. And, as you say, Wanda, some people, would surmise that, he saw that she wasn't well, and he took that as an opportunity to capitalize financially off of that. But it is what it is, and the judge agreed. That's why they took away, they canceled out his power of attorney, and now it's up to some state, some state ran agency or person to render aid to Wendy at the end of the documentary. And now we see why it was called Where is Wendy? Because no one knows, right? No one knows where she is, because as far as her family is concerned. Now, of course, the guardian and the mother people know, the court system knows where she is, but as far as her family is concerned, they have no idea where she is. Of course, she's speaking with them. She calls them now, and Wanda, the older sister, she added that she's coming back to herself, and she's back to being the Wendy that we know and love. But that Wendy that we saw throughout that whole entire documentary was something to be seen. And now I know why. Now I know why that the Guardian tried to, because I put out a video, I think a couple of days before. Yeah, I did, before before the documentary came out, and the Guardian went to court like the morning of, like Friday morning before it was supposed to come out on Saturday, trying to have the court stop Lifetime from releasing the video. And let me show y'all something. This picture right here of Wendy laying in that bed, honey, I was like, oh my God. Can y'all see the picture? Put a 1 if you can in the comment section. Let me know you can see the picture that I put up. But yeah, Can you see the picture? But this photo of Wendy, I was like, "Oh my god." And this was after her when she came back from Miami, because remember when she was with her family, she was looking good. She was looking put together, she was looking somewhat decent. But then when she came back and she got back in that apartment and she started back with the drinking and the carrying on, I was like, "Oh my god." And that's what one of my friends said. I sent the picture to my friend and I was like, "Look at Wendy." And she was like, "She looked like she's gone." you know? And I was like, "Oh my god." But you know what? That the divorce that she had with that man, that broke her. I mean, I've seen, women, hurt by, a relationship ending, but this one right here with her. And I mean, I understand. She was with that man for decades, and for it to end like that was sad, but you know, I mean, my goodness. But that photo I showed y'all of her, that just solidified it for me. Like, she needs help immediately. Like, she needs to be, when she comes out of that facility, if she comes back out of that facility, then she needs like a nurse at the house 24/7, and someone who can, like, be forceful with her, because as y'all can see, I mean, she ran them people up out of there with her attitude, you know? And I hate that for her. Another thing I wanted to talk to y'all about was that manager of hers. What y'all think about him? His name was Will or whatever. And every frame of him, every shot of him, he had on some brand name joint, Louis Vuitton, all the things, just looking fresh and clean or whatever. And the way he was yelling at Wendy, now I know she's not well, but the way he was talking to her at one point, I was like, sir, you are a paid employee of this woman. Like, what are you doing? You know, completely out of order. But I mean, that's what it is. There was an update after the documentary aired, and the manager will, he made a statement just saying that, she's doing better and whatnot. But what I think is that Wendy, I don't think we're going to see her on TV anymore. You know what I mean? I think that was the end of the Wendy dynasty as far as TV is concerned, and I think that's for the best, because the state that she was in, she doesn't need to come back on TV. And you know what? Another thing I wanted to talk to y'all about. What about that publicist slash assistant slash, whatever Wendy wanted her to be, that flew this woman in the state that she was to Los Angeles, right? And then when she flew this lady to Los Angeles, she decided to go set up a meeting with NBC in the state that she was in. I mean, I understand that you get paid by her for doing publicist work, i.e., getting meetings and starting shows and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. That was her name, Sean. But the fact that she did that, she was just like, if you're looking for the definition of the yes girl or the yes person, she was the yes person. Like, Wendy was in a state that she needed to just lay down and go drink some milk. But this girl decided she was like, I'm about to get this money, because as we all know, once if Wendy stays on TV, more people, right, get paid. Okay? So clearly she's going to try with every fiber of her being to keep this woman on air. But my God, today, the way she was, she needed to stay in the house. And another thing, family, the fact that Wendy kept trying to show everybody them feet. Like, what in the world is going on? Like, girl, put them feet down. Like everywhere Wendy went, y'all, she was like, my feet, my feet, my feet. And she kept taking them feet out of them boots, honey, and then trying to show the people the feet. I was like, and nobody is telling her she need to put them feet down. This is what I don't understand. It was like watching something out of, I don't know, Truman Show or something crazy, because I'm like, girl, girl, like I can't see them feet no more. I was going I was about to click out of that damn because because of them feet. You hear me? I don't like feet in the first place. And to see the condition of the foots, I was like, I'm through. Okay. But I hung in there for y'all because I love y'all so much. And I knew I had to talk about this doggone documentary. I was going to do a, dedicated video where it's all formal, but I was like, nah, we got to talk. We got to talk. I got to come to the people direct because this has to be spoken about. My God, today. I mean, and then now, Wendy is a woman of a particular age, okay? Them little baby shorts, like, girl, like, what we doing? Like, what we doing? Like, they can't tell her, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, you can't leave the house like that. The shorts were outrageous, to say the least. Diabolical shorts. Like, I tell you what, like, I can't believe. Absolutely. Wanda, absolutely. That's exactly what it was. And you know what? I was watching, I wanted to turn away, but I couldn't because it's like this is what becomes of someone who I don't even know. And a lot of people in my comments, hey Twanda, um, you know, a lot of people, like when I put the videos up and stuff, they come in the comments and they're like, oh, it's karma, yada, yada, yada. But is it though? Is it though? Because as I've said in my videos, she was doing her job, you know? And we don't have this energy for the Harvey Levins of the world who do the exact same thing on TMZ. Because I will never forget how TMZ posted Michael Jackson's dead body. I will never forget that. You understand me? So, and Wendy ain't never did nothing like that. So the hate that our community has for this woman, that they don't visit on people like Harvey Levin and other white corporations that do worse than Wendy does, is just beyond to me. And we hold our people to I guess a higher standard, but come on, like she was just doing her job. But aside from that, them shorts yesterday and them feet, that's too much for me, you know? And why I think Wendy wears those clothing, right? Is because um when she was in her younger age, she was a big girl. Because remember, she's been struggling with her weight for quite some time. And I think she wanted to she's always wanted to wear, right, those kind of clothing, and she couldn't. And then now that she's at a particular age and she's lost all this weight by whatever means, she feels like, okay, she can do that, and she can. I mean, I'm not telling nobody how to dress or whatever, but it was jarring to see when I I mean, because we see photos of her out and about, with that, but to see it like on the television and she walking around and she in her house, and it's like she's just not even cognizant of her whole entire being. You know what I mean? She's just existing. And it's like her soul is gone or something. And it's like, fame this is the result of fame, that you walk around as a shell of yourself, you know? I mean, it's really sad. But for those who are, who just joined us, welcome. We're just having a candid discussion about the part 1 and 2 series documentary of Wendy Williams. Where is Wendy Williams? And if you watched both parts, at the end of the second part, the question still lies, where is Wendy Williams? Because her family does not know where she is. She does, however, communicate with them. She calls them. But as far as them putting eyes on her, as far as them seeing her, they haven't seen her in like 8 months now, they've said. Another thing that I gathered from the documentary was that her family loves her. Her family loves her tremendously. It's not about the money with them. And her son, I grieve for her son because he loves his mom. He doesn't know what to do. And everybody is thinking that, he's the bad guy in the situation when he was just a kid, like who gives a 19-year-old power of attorney and, you're, a millionaire. And according to Wendy, she says she has billions of dollars, if you saw that. But I think those are just delusions of grandeur. But, she, her family is a solid family, a strong family. But one more thing, did y'all notice that she didn't call her mother mom? Did you notice that? She was calling her Shirley. That's her mom's first name. She was calling her mother Shirley, And you're right, Ruby. Like you said, in her mind, she looks good and they can't make her change. No. And we saw that. We saw that she is a pistol and she ain't playing with y'all. Okay. She ran that nail tech up out of there. She was, when she asked that girl, are you stupid? I was like, okay, now Wendy, come on now. Because, you're not going to get the sympathy of the public if you're treating, the people in such a way, But some people say that's the dementia. And some people disagree that it's not. Some people say that's just who she is. But overall, it was terrible to watch. When she went to LA and she was at the Star, right? Her Star, and she, those men dressed as women came through and they wanted to take a photo with her and stuff like that. I mean, you could see like she just, that was all she was living for. Just to be just to be on camera, just to be famous. And when she was riding in the car, she said she rolls the window down because she wants the people to see her, right? She wants the people to know it's her. She wants the people to acknowledge her presence. And this is and I think all this stems from, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, no counselor or nothing like that. But what I see is when she was little, she didn't get this attention that she wanted, because she was the big one, and she's told us that when she goes on our show, how they treated her when she was a little girl. And I don't think she ever got over that. Well, I don't think, I know she's never got over that because she kept going back to when she was 6 and she was like, I want to be a star. I want to be on TV. And she kept telling, remember she sat with her dad, she was telling, reminding her dad of that. And I was like, oh my goodness, what a thing, huh? To just be stuck in your head, in a childlike state, but still in a grown-up's body. And that's what it presents like, Yeah. And you're right, Tawana. And I mentioned this earlier. Oh, Oh, so for those just joining me, I gave y'all a little hack earlier. Once you get done with this live, go to the Lifetime channel here on YouTube, and at the very top they have a like a little free subscription, right? And they give you 7 days to watch, and then they're gonna charge your card. You know, like all these streaming services do. Lifetime has one as well. So go on over there. Put your credit card in there for the little 7 days. Put on your calendar this when the 7 days is gonna end, so you don't get charged, and then you cancel it after you've exhausted your watching over there on the Lifetime channel before the 7 days expired. So just you can get to watch it that way, okay? Um, but yeah, but you said she got the wrong type of attention. Yeah, you're right. I mean, she told us this. This is no secret, and we're not saying anything that's out of order or that's been kept. She said this repeatedly, that her mother was very critical of her. And that weighs on a child, if you're always, because I'm Jamaican, right? And let me tell you this, when I go home, and my dad's been here for my whole life, right? But when I go home for Thanksgiving, like, I got to get my mind right. I got to get my mind right, because they don't hide nothing. And I don't know if anybody here is from the Caribbean peoples, okay? I mean, this is just a black thing, maybe. But when I go home, baby, if I gain an ounce, if I lose weight, if anything is going on, my daddy, oh, you got fat. That's the first thing he's gonna say. Not, I haven't seen you in a while. I love you, I miss you. He look at me up and down. What's going on? Why you look so skinny? These are the things they say. Or he said, what's going on? What's on your head? I don't like that hairdo. This is my father. Okay. And then I have like 3 brothers, and I get it from all of them. So I gotta be ready when I when I go home. Okay. Exactly, Tawana. That's what he said. He's like, what's going on over there? You're not eating? You need me to come home? I'm like, no, daddy. So, and then as soon as I sit down, he go start making food for me to eat. If I look, gaunt in his eyes. They have an image in their head of how you should look. And if you look outside of that, if you don't look like that, it's a problem. And you're gonna be the topic of discussion for Thanksgiving, because my aunties are coming and the cousins are coming, and they're telling what's going on with her. What's going on with her? Go find out what's going on with her. So but these are the dynamics of a family. But it can have it's a lovely thing, because you're around people that love you. But sometimes, baby, you ain't trying to hear none of that, okay? Because you having a tough time, and you just went there because you are required to be there for Thanksgiving. And there you go. You say, Wanda, you say your mom was like that too? Yeah, a lot of us have that in our family. Unfortunately, they make you tough. They prepare you for this world out here, don't they? Okay. Because the first person or the first people that hurt my feelings were my family. Okay, not a stranger out there. It was my brother or something telling me my feet are big, or or whatever, when I was younger, and me and him tussling because we couldn't get along. That is what it is. And unfortunately for Miss Wendy, her mind wasn't equipped to deal with these things. And let's put that on pause for a second. But she engaged in a lifestyle that would lead here, right? And she tells us about this. She indulged into the cocaine. She was in that lifestyle. There are allegations about her having a relationship with Biggie Small and the people, because little Kim don't rock with her, because even though Kim was messing with him and he was but I digress. We're gonna move on. But they said Wendy used to be messing with him. These are all allegations. So she has a colored past, if you will. And for her, she doesn't see like that as being bad. She's like a Donald Trump kind of character. There's no bad press. All press is good press. You see what I'm saying? So that's why she, and I think that's why she did this documentary, because she's been off TV for the last 2 years. And then, now we've seen documentary after documentary because she loves the camera around her. Y'all saw in the documentary that she was just, that she didn't want the people to leave, like the people that were filming the documentary. She didn't want them to leave, and it's because she said she's lonely. But she's a lonely. She admits that she's lonely, but she doesn't want her family around her. Why she doesn't want her family around her? Because she wants to drink. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? She was like, I miss my family. I miss my family. But when Kevin is there, the little Kevin, and he's a vegan and he doesn't drink. So he's trying to, prevent her from going over the edge. And that's why she doesn't want the family around, because they hold her feet to the fire. You said Joan Rivers was her favorite, and we know what happened to Joan Rivers. Okay. And then did y'all catch in that documentary when she said that, like, what more than Ira, whoever those people are, wanted her to be, she said, like, she made a comment as far as her being, in quotation, black. And then, like, I guess she said, not now, they, like, I mean, she was alluding to the fact that they don't want her to be black no more or something like that. Like, y'all got to rewatch that. And I watched it again. I was like, what is she trying to say? She's like, I'm Wendy Hunter and I'm a black woman. Like, she was trying to remind herself of who she was or something. But my God, today, that was terrible. And, that niece of hers, Alex, she was right on with her feeling about Sean, the publicist, right? That she just met. Okay. Like, we do not stand Sean. Like, Sean needs to go sit down somewhere. Okay. And, and figure out what is her job, because that doggone Sean was just, yes, ma'am. And when she wanted what's not EpiPen, that cigarette or whatever, that e-cigarette, they be, that vape that she's now smoking. I didn't know she even smoked. Like, she's vaping now. And she had that girl running in and out and yelling at the people over the blue vape that she wanted, like a toddler. I mean, my God. But for those that are new here, yeah, she's not a nice person. You said the Black China piece. So Black China, what you saw, the little clip that I ran on my channel, that's basically it. China came in with her new hair and she sat with Wendy, and then Wendy, she just basically said, Wendy must have, I don't know if she was, drunk or whatever. She was just not in it, and China sat there and said how she's going to be flying back and forth and she's going to visit her. And she told what you saw, that she loved her. And, Wendy, then she hugged Wendy, and then they cut from the scene where she was just laying on the couch with Wendy and in Wendy's embrace. But it looked staged. It didn't look authentic to me. And then did y'all see that China mama, what's her name? Tokyo Tony? Because y'all know Tokyo Tony cannot let Black China live. I mean, now when it comes to her daughter, now that relationship right there, that needs to be studied, because she hates that girl. Like, I don't know what China did to Tokyo Tony. Her name is ridiculous. But they both got names they ain't never been to them countries. But the fact that she went on live or something with Tasha K. Did y'all see that? And she was dogging Wendy out and she was, wishing death on Angela, on China. I was like, "You are this woman's daughter. Like, what are you doing?" And of course, she and Tasha K got into it because Tasha was like, "Listen, you ain't coming on my show and talking about your daughter like that. I'm not gonna allow it." And they got into the little tete, and Tokyo hung up because she didn't. I guess she expected Tasha to drag her own daughter. I mean, just insanity. And of course, she was talking about how Wendy is, doesn't have China's best interest at heart, and it's just for the cameras or whatever. But the moment between Wendy and China, it seemed sincere. However, she was brought there, because what I do notice is that Wendy has no friends. Did y'all notice that? Or maybe they didn't want to be a part of the documentary, but yeah, I didn't see, we all, most of us got a little good Judy, like a little girlfriend. We tell all the tea and they know about you, and if you go missing, they gonna call somebody. But yeah, that's right, Tawana. Like, she didn't have friends, she has handlers. There's a handler for everything, and they're like yes people. Everybody's like yes, yes, because they're hopeful of the money. Because when she flew to LA, her money, she had no access to her money, and that publicist slash, errand girl slash whatever, she's the one that paid for the flight out there on her own dime, to go and get this meeting for Wendy. And I know one day you said, "What's in that vape?" Crack. No, I don't know. I'm joking. Joking. I don't know what's in that vape. They say it's nicotine, but Lord, she was about to flip that truck over that vape. I was like, "What is in there?" I had the same question. Okay, I ain't never seen nobody act like that over no vape. Now, okay, but she went off. But this Wendy drama, honey, and let me be clear, it's not over, people. It is not over. Wendy gonna be on our screens because that's what she said. She said she wants to be on TV until she's basically dead. That's what she said. Like, did y'all see this? I mean, ridiculous. And then I mean, I don't want to be this rich where people don't tell me no. You see what I'm saying? I would never want to be or have this perception of wealth that the people are literally around me watching me die. Because that's what it was. This documentary was witnessing the death of a person, you know? I mean, they were when the loudmouth manager came back in, and she had that big bottle of vodka in the bed, or he found it in a corner, and then I was like, my God, today, like, like, vodka tastes nasty. Well, for me, like, I've tried it, and that's not my thing. Like, it's too harsh or whatever. But like, to be drinking that, and then notice she always had a mimosa in the bed with her. And then another thing, fam, there was no food in her fridge. Now we see why she looks that way. She doesn't eat. She doesn't eat. Like, throughout the whole documentary, did you see her having a meal? No. We never saw her having a meal. They brought the food to the table, but we never saw her eating. And I was like, these are the little things that I notice. And I'm like, first of all, that could never be my mama. Okay? Like, I don't care what the American court system's saying, because the son was saying that he wanted to snatch her from New York and take her to Miami where they are. Um, but the state of New York would, like would charge him with kidnapping his own mama. Did y'all catch that? I was like, oh my God. The judicial system works overtime against us. Doesn't it seem that way? Like, you wanna do something for your mom, and if you decide to take your mother, they're gonna lock you up and find some way to put you in jail over you wanting to take care of your mom. If it was my mom, I would have snatched her up and I'd have went on back to Jamaica, because no, my mom ain't gonna die at my, because it feels to the family that they have to just sit there and witness this woman deteriorate, right? And they can't do anything about it. And in the meantime, while this is happening, the media and the public is seeing them as the bad guy, as the people who, because I was saying that too before I watched this. I was like, where is her family? Where I kept saying that, where is her family? But now we see the family is there, and the family is all in Miami, as we can see. Everybody down there in Florida. And you know who else is in Florida too? Let me break this news to y'all. Her ex-husband. hmm He live he lives in Pompano Beach. And I know Pompano because I'm from Florida. And a lot of you know that area. He lives over there in Pompano. And recently, let me give y'all some tea. Recently, he's currently in a battle with an insurance company over one of his Ferraris. Let me tell you something. When you do bad things to people, you can't just think just gonna live and let live. It don't work like that. The laws of the universe doesn't work like that. But anyways, he has this Ferrari, right? And he alleges that he parked the car outside. There was rain. The car got flooded. He tried to file the insurance claim on the car. The insurance company denies the claim because they're like, hold on a second. The adjuster comes, checks the car, but the adjuster also checks the weather. And they found out that no rain fell on the day that he's saying that the rain fell to flood the car. So, of course, they're suing him now for trying to get money from them. And they requested like financial documents from him. He hasn't turned up the financial documents. But this is the man that she was tied to for decades. You see what I'm saying? And for some reason, he thinks he's just going to get away with doing what he's done to her. And right now, financially, he's not. So he's looking at, if they want to, they can get him put in jail for, fraud or whatever, just like Portia's husband, which we'll talk about some other time, because my God, today it's a lot going on. Like, this Black History Month has been not our best. Like, I'm gonna say it. Like, this Black History Month has not been our best. My God, like, it's too much going on. Every time you open your phone, you turn on the TV, you get on the YouTube, is something going on with the people, and it's just what it is. But back to Wendy. What are we gonna do, fam? I mean, all we got to do is just watch, right? We can't do anything because we're not in her family, and her family who is in her family can't do anything. Right now, everything, according to Wendy, is up to and the manager is up to the handlers and the guardian. And they said that every year the guardians, have a review. And at the end of that review, the judges determine whether or not, they continue with the guardians or whatever. But but yeah, Tawana, you said Sharina left him. She showed it. Like, That's what they allege, honey, but who knows? They probably just put stuff out in the media just so they can get people talking about them because the more people talk, the more people go to their little pages and the more they get engagement, and engagement equals money. So and these people are of the school that there is no bad press. It's like, attention is attention, you know. But according to the reports, Miss Sharina has to, go to the courthouse down there in Broward County and try to get child support from this man. Because shocker, he's not taking care of the child. Hello, so allegedly. So she got, it's like, yo, like you can never think. And I was talking to my mom this morning. I'm like, it's just shocking to me because me, I was talking to my mom about this whole Portia thing. I was like, for some reason, these women who step inside somebody's marriage have this perception that the man that they quote unquote took from the woman is gonna be a completely different man. Men don't change, okay? I know this. I got daddies, I got brothers. You know what I'm saying? I got a husband. They don't change, okay? But you just got to be the one. Hopefully, if the cards align, you pick the right one. Because baby, you pick the wrong one, that baby, he is not changing. Okay, my brothers are ruthless out here in these streets, so I know. Okay, and I'm like, now that this thing is going on with Portia, people are congratulating her. And they're saying that, oh, she's playing chess and she ain't playing checkers and blah 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 because she fouled and yada yada whoop de woo. No, she playing with the wrong opponent because let me tell you something. We saw what Simon did to Fallon, and yes, she got her little issue, right? She got her issue with she had the baby and she was cheating with the help and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, Fallon came into that marriage with nothing and she left with nothing. Okay? And the court docs for Portia's, divorce is already up. I skimmed through them, irreconcilable differences, as they all say. And as far as alimony is concerned, that's still on the table, right? She did have a prenup place. However, they do have property that is being up for discussion, right? So that may be a thing. On the other hand, this Simon character, I'm about to put out a video for y'all about Simon. And let me tell you something. When I was recording this video, I was laughing. Y'all gonna laugh when I put it out. Okay. Simon, you can't scam a scammer, baby. Okay. So people up here commending Portia on, getting out of the marriage before he gets deported and Simon ain't going nowhere. Okay. That's for one. And two, you can't get no money from these Nigerian men if they don't want to give it to you. Okay. and Portia, right, lady? Listen, she got the right one. She thought she was the gold digger. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. Simon, baby. Simon been doing this since Portia was a baby. Okay, because he been in the scamming game since 1982. I don't know when Portia. Yeah, Portia was born in the 80s too. Yeah, like you can't. This man been doing this for decades. And he posted a video. Posted a video. Y'all need to go to Instagram. If y'all want a good laugh, go to these people's Instagram so y'all can laugh with me. Like this man posted a video on a clip of him. And he was like basically saying he'd been in America for 42 years. This man's been in America for 42 years, as long as Portia has been alive. And this man said he ain't going nowhere. Okay. And he said that he's going to love his wife, Portia. He put this on his little reel. He's going to love his wife until the divorce is final. So this man is in for the long haul. And we know finalizing a divorce can take years. Okay. So and he did a live and stuff. So he likes the spotlight. He wants to be on TV. So for this season of the Housewives with Portia, I'm sure he's gonna make him an appearance, because if they're bringing out all these men on these shows with their exes, because I think I saw Apollo on one of these shows coming back, and he ain't even with that girl Phaedra. They'll bring anybody in, because obviously when it comes to the black shows on Bravo, they don't care if they hurt the women or not, because I don't think they have a discussion with them about whether or not they want their ex partners to make an appearance or whatever. I think they just do it for the ratings, you know? Yeah. And you're right. Like when he saw Portia in that pool, tooting her butt up, when Fallon invited her over for the barbecue, right? And he saw that Portia had a peach and Fallon did not. He said, bingo. That's what Simon said. And we know Portia thought the Underground Railroad was an actual train. And he saw that too. Okay. So he was like, that's the one. and, and he got her and had her flying all over the world with this, marriage and the gowns and the headdress and the thing, while he just stood back and watched her and said, look at this one right here. I got her. Okay. And she was like, I'm Mrs. Guardianship and yeah, yeah, yeah. And Simon like, yeah, I'm about to get my citizenship off of your ass. That's what he said. Oh my God. And then guess what? He tried, because this man tried to get his citizenship three times, and they turned him down. But he figured, okay, now I'm with a notable American, right? Portia of all people, and he's like, well, she comes from like civil rights stock, and her granddaddy got a street named after him in Atlanta, so I most definitely I'm gonna get my papers. And and they were like, you're a criminal, sir. You have 30 years of scamming and frauding, and you've been in jail and all the things. And he was like, so what? Americans do it too. But sir, guess what? You're not one. Okay? That's what they said to him. And listen, I'm not laughing at this woman's pain, honey. But knowing Portia, this is no pain for her. This is more content for her. They're saying that she signed some deal, for TV and stuff like that. So she's gonna be on our screens forever. Because for some reason, once they get on this doggone TV, it's like they can't go back into anonymity. They want to continually be in front of our eyes, being in our topic of discussion. And there will always be people to discuss this stuff. You know what I'm saying? There will always be a Wendy Williams. There will always be a Harvey Levin from TMZ. There'll always be that woman hating man. What's his name? Jason Lee and the Charlemagnes of the world. There'll always be these people, right? So they're like, listen, this is my way, because they don't have the education or anything to be competitive in the workspace. So they use the little piece of their mind they have, to stay in front of our eyes and to make money that way. And to each his own, but could never be me. Could never be me. And I hope it's never me. If y'all ain't, I hope y'all never see me like that. But Yeah, I mean, we covered a lot of stuff on this little discussion, and I enjoyed this. I think we should do this more often. We just talk about the topics because, yo, life, for our celebrities and the people that we watch. I mean, my God, what you said you said Portia is like a blonde. You know what? Listen, don't have no you sitting up here talking about poor Portia. No. Portia step into this stuff. We can't have no, I'm not going to have any sympathy for Portia because at the end of the day, she went to this woman's house and she can scream to the top of the world that she wasn't her friend, she wasn't her friend. That's not the point, Portia. That's not the point. The point is that you were an invited guest to this woman's home. They fed you. You put your big butt into them people pool, okay? And you over there seducing this old man. And then, you marry the man and all the things. Good on you. But, Fallon, the wife, the ex-wife, she's the one looking at y'all now and saying, girl, I knew who he was. Okay? I knew he was. And I made you think that he was the thing. And then I got rid of him and now you got him. So she basically, as somebody said in one of my comments, she picked up somebody else's trash. And it be like that sometimes. It be like that sometimes. But as I bring this chat to a close, what I do want to do is, if you would like, send a word of prayer for Wendy, because we all know that prayer changes things. I believe that. I've seen it in my own life, and I've seen it, just in general. And there's nothing on this earth that is going to help Wendy other than God. Okay? Because she is lost. That's me putting it nicely. She's lost. And in order for her to find her way back, she has to build a foundation with God. Because there's no man on this planet, not even that ex-husband of hers, that she still seems to have she wants to come back. Because I promise you, if that bastard, I don't know, but if this man, would accept her back, I honestly believe that she would invite him back into her life. Because she doesn't want to be out there she wants this fantasy, this fantasy of a relationship with a partner, and they're just in a cocoon in that apartment or whatever, and she gets to just be with this person all the time and not lock the world out. And that's the life that she wants. But in reality, it can't be, because one, she's Wendy Williams, and two, she has family who loves her. And hopefully, in a month or 2 months or a year from now, whatever, she finally comes back to herself. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, she wants to be called Mrs. Hunter, but she ain't Mrs. Hunter no more. Okay? That is over with. So, and the sooner she accepts that, the better it'll be for her. Because, oh my God, watching that was so heart-wrenching for me. But I couldn't look away because I wanted to know what was going to happen next. And for those coming in on the end of this chat, if you want to watch the documentary in its entirety, go to the Lifetime channel. And I'm advertising for them. They ain't giving me no. But yeah, go to the Lifetime channel here on YouTube, and then go to the top of the screen, and you'll see a button where you can click and go in and do like a little short, trial subscription. It lasts for 7 days. Put your card information in. Put a note on your calendar so you know when to cancel it before the 7-day ends, and go watch this for yourself. It's a fascinating watch. I'm glad I watched it because it gave me more of an insight on who Wendy is. And her addiction, she has an addictive personality, and her greatest addiction is to fame. That's it. That's the documentary in a nutshell. All the stuff that was in between, with her being mean and all the stuff, we saw that. But what it boils down to is one, her family really loves her. Two, the Guardian, are which some people are alleging is a Caucasian woman. That hasn't been proven. But if I was a bitten woman, hmm and three, Wendy is very addicted to the limelight. And I don't know what kind of treatment is there for that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they can treat you for your drug dependence or your alcohol dependence. But what kind of treatment is there for you being addicted to being in front of the public, to wanting to be seen all the time and heard all the time? Um, yeah. And you know what, right here, Sherry, what you said when the niece came to visit Wendy, she wanted to watch the TV, then talk to her. Yeah, because Wendy didn't want to hear what the niece had to say, and the niece was saying that she needs to be healthy, and she yelled at the niece and said, "I'm healthy," but clearly, girl, you're not. You know what I'm saying? You got them feet up, okay? You keep showing the feet, and you sitting up there talking about you're gonna be back on TV on Wednesday, and the dad was like, "It's Wednesday," you know. Um, but she, she's stuck in her head that she's still the Wendy that we used to watch every morning, at 10 or 4 o'clock when it used to come on when I got home from school and stuff. Like, she still thinks she's that Wendy. And we as a community, we love her that way, right? When we, if we ever see Wendy out in public, which I'll never have the occasion to, but if we ever saw her, yeah, hey Wendy, we love you and stuff like that. And that is the Wendy that's playing in her mind. The Wendy she is now, she will not accept that. She refuses to accept that. And the sooner she accepts that, the better for her, you know, and just leave that man alone in every way, in every facet. Like, don't even think about him because he listen to me. We already talked about them feet, honey. Them feet sent me over the edge. You hear me? Like every frame, she was like, "Look at my feet." She went into that meeting, child, with them shorts, and then she took that boot off and showed them executive them feet. I don't know what's going. Oh my god! It took me clean out. You hear me? Girl, put them feet down. She showed Black China them feet. She showed Alex them feet. She showed the producer them feet. She opened with them feet. You hear me? The feet were everywhere. I dreamt about them feet last night. You hear me? Lord Jesus. Anyway, but I love y'all. And thank you so much for joining me on this very interactive and entertaining chat. And we need to do this more often, huh? Have conversations, a little girlfriend chat about stuff that's going on in the news, right? All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for coming. Thank you, Miss Lady Light. Thank you, Tawana, for your interaction in the chat. Thank you, Easy Peasy. Miss Elizabeth Doe, thank you so much for coming. And yeah, I'll post another time for us to just sit down and talk about stuff and have a good laugh if need be. But yeah, let's continue to pray for Wendy and stay tuned for the next video I'm going to put out about the wives, lies, and lives of Simon Guobadia. Because that man got a lot of wives, honey. Okay. He told a lot of lies and he's lived a lot of lives. Okay. And I'm going to cover that in my next video. So just look out for that. All right. Thank you all again. And have a good rest of your day. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys. Love ya.